hook their soul immediately. Most guys, they talk too much, too many words, too many compliments. Hey, you're gorgeous. You're different. I've never felt this way before. But here's the thing, women have heard it all, not once, not twice, but 1,000 times. And the more you say what every other guy says, the more you blend into the background, because women don't remember the words, they remember the feeling behind them. And here's a truth most men never learn. If your words come from fear, if they come from needing her to like you, if they come from trying to get her, she can feel it. Even if you say all the right things, it pushes her away. Why? Because your energy is loud, it's restless, it's needy, and neediness is never attractive. But when your words come from calm, when they come from quiet confidence, from knowing who you are, everything changes. Now she leans in, not because you're chasing her, but because she can feel your stillness. You're not trying to win her, you've already won yourself. And that is the difference. She doesn't want a man who's performing for her. She wants a man who's grounded, present, whole. A man who knows he doesn't need her, but chooses her from a place of peace, not panic. So listen closely, because I'm about to show you the 5 most powerful things a man can say. Not pickup lines, not tricks, truths. Say them with stillness, say them with presence, and no woman will forget you, ever. 1. I don't chase, I connect. Most men are always in pursuit. They chase beauty, they chase attention, they chase validation like it's oxygen, and they don't even realize they're doing it. They slide into DMS, they rehearse what to say, they try to win her, like she's a prize they don't believe they deserve. But chasing is rooted in fear. Fear of not being enough, fear of being alone, fear of not being chosen. And every time you chase, you give away your power. Because the moment you try to impress her, what you're really saying is, please approve of me, please make me feel worthy. And she feels that, not through your words, through your energy. But now imagine this. You're calm, still, sure of yourself. You're not trying to be liked. You're not trying to perform. You just look her in the eye and say, I don't chase, I connect. That one sentence, when spoken from truth, stops everything. Because it tells her, you're not desperate, you're not needy, you're not trying to take anything from her. You're offering presence. You're offering realness. You're offering connection, not control. And that's rare. Most men chase. Few men connect. But when a woman meets a man who's not chasing, who isn't trying to impress her, who's simply there, strong, calm, present, she doesn't feel like she's being hunted. She feels seen. Because a man who connects, he's not asking to be chosen. He already knows his worth. And that kind of man, he doesn't just attract women. He awakens something deeper in them. Something ancient, something real, something that no line, no trick could ever create. So stop chasing, speak from stillness, and let your presence do the work. Say it with truth. I don't chase. I connect and watch what happens next. 2. You're safe to be real with me. Most women are carrying a quiet weight, not on their shoulders, on their hearts. They laugh at jokes they don't find funny. They say I'm fine when they're not. They wear makeup not just on their face but on their soul, because the world has taught them to hide. Hide their emotions, hide their stories, hide the parts of themselves that were once called too much. So they build walls, not because they want to keep love out, but because they've been punished every time they let it in. Judged for being too emotional, shamed for being too open, hurt for being honest, and then you come along, not with a line, not with a performance, but with stillness, with presence, with a voice that doesn't shake and a heart that doesn't run. And you say, you're safe to be real with me. That one sentence, it's not just words, it's permission. You're not asking her to impress you. You're not asking her to be perfect. You're simply offering her something sacred, a space where she can exhale. And when a woman feels that kind of safety, everything changes. Her guard drops. Her mask slips. Not because she's weak, but because she's tired of pretending. You're not just another guy trying to get her body. You're a man who's strong enough to hold her truth. You don't flinch at her past. You don't panic when she cries. You don't label her as too much just because she feels deeply. That kind of presence is rare. That kind of strength is unforgettable. Because when you say, "You're safe to be real with me," what you're really saying is, "I won't run when it gets heavy. I won't leave when it gets real. I'm not here to fix you. I'm here to know you." And that breaks through walls faster than charm ever could. So don't offer her compliments. Offer her safety. Because a woman may forget what you said, but she will never forget how it felt to be fully herself in your presence. Say it calmly. Say it honestly. You're safe to be real with me. And let her finally breathe. 3. I won't try to fix you. I'll stand beside you. A lot of women have learned to survive in silence. They've been through things they never talk about. They've carried responsibilities that no one helped them with. They've faced disappointment, betrayal, pressure, and through it all, they kept going. They became strong, not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. That strength becomes part of who they are, but underneath it, there's a softness they rarely show. Not because it isn't there, but because it hasn't always been safe. Most people only see their strength. They say, "Wow, you're so independent," or "You're tough, nothing bothers you." But that's just the surface. What most don't realize is that strong women also want to be held. Not physically, always, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. They want to know they don't have to fight alone all the time. They want to take the armor off, even if just for a moment, and still be loved, still be safe. But too often, when they open up, men try to fix them. They jump in with solutions. They try to calm her down, smooth it over, or change the subject. Not because they don't care, but because they don't know how to stay with what's real. They get uncomfortable when emotions rise, when the conversation goes deep, when her fire shows up. And so she learns, maybe it's better to just keep it in. That's why your presence matters more than your answers. When you say, "I'm not here to fix you, I'm here to stand beside you," you give her something rare. You tell her she doesn't have to be perfect to be loved. She doesn't have to hide the parts that feel too loud, too complicated, too heavy. You're saying, "I see all of it, and I'm not going anywhere." You're not afraid of her fire because you've found peace in your own. You're not shaken by her emotion because you've faced your own. You don't need to fix her because you're strong enough to simply be with her. No rushing, no running, just presence. That kind of strength is different. It's not about being the loudest man in the room. It's about being the one who doesn't flinch when things get real. It's about being the one who listens when she doesn't have the words yet. The one who stays when everything feels messy. The one who holds space without trying to control it. That's what makes a woman trust you. Not your charm, not your advice, but your ability to be still when she isn't. To be calm when she's overwhelmed. To be there, not as a rescuer, but as a witness. Because deep down, she doesn't want to be rescued. She wants to be respected. She wants to be understood. She wants to know that when her strength runs out, you're still there. Not to carry her away, but to sit beside her in the dark, hold her hand, and let her know she doesn't have to carry everything alone. And when you say those words, and mean them, "I won't try to fix you, I'll stand beside you," you don't just gain her trust. You earn her softness, her openness, her loyalty. You become the place where she can finally stop performing and start breathing. That's rare. And that's why no woman forgets it. 4. You don't have to impress me. I want what's real. In a world where everyone is trying to be liked, most people forget how to be real. Everything is filtered, perfect smiles, perfect angles, perfect words, but none of it feels honest. It's all just performance. And she's been performing for a long time. She's been taught that she has to be easygoing, attractive, polite, never too loud, never too emotional. She's learned to hide parts of herself just to fit in, to be liked, to be accepted, to avoid being called too much. So she laughs when she's not okay. She nods when she wants to speak. She keeps herself polished, but inside, she's tired. Tired of always being on. Tired of always managing how others see her. Because deep down, she's not trying to be admired. She's trying to be understood, and hardly anyone ever gets close enough to do that. Most people just want the version of her that looks good, the version that performs, the version that pleases. But when you come along, and you don't ask her to be fun or perfect or easy, when you look her in the eye with calm, grounded energy and say, "You don't have to impress me, I want what's real," it stops everything. Her mind quiets, her breath softens, because finally someone isn't asking for her performance. You're asking for her, not the version with makeup and perfect timing, not the girl who always says the right thing, not the one who hides her fears behind a smile. You're asking for the human behind the mask, the one who doubts, the one who's been hurt, the one who still hopes, even if she doesn't say it out loud. And that moment, that invitation, it hits her in a place words can't reach. Because you're not trying to take from her. You're not trying to fix her. You're just asking her to be seen and letting her know she doesn't have to earn that. That kind of presence isn't loud, it's not flashy, but it's powerful because it's real. And when a woman feels like she can finally stop performing, she becomes something even more beautiful, honest, present, open. She doesn't just relax, she starts to trust. And when trust enters the room, connection begins. Not shallow attraction, not temporary excitement, but real connection, the kind that doesn't fade. Because you didn't fall in love with her image, you saw her truth and stayed. So say it with your eyes steady. Say it with your heart quiet and sure. You don't have to impress me, I want what's real. And then just be there. Let her be real. Let her be messy. Let her be fully human. And when she sees that you didn't flinch, she'll never forget you, because now she doesn't have to hide. And that kind of safety, it's rare, it's sacred, and it's exactly what she's been waiting for. 5. You're strong, and you still deserve rest. Some women walk through life looking like they've got it all together. They're the ones who show up no matter what. They take care of others, they solve problems. They smile even when they're breaking inside. People call them warriors, badass, queens. They celebrate her strength, her independence, her resilience. But no one asks what it costs. No one asks how heavy it gets to always be the strong one. No one sees how many nights she cries silently, how often she feels completely alone while still holding everyone else together. Because the world doesn't give her permission to rest. It says, "You've got this. Stay strong. Keep going." So she does, even when her body is tired, even when her mind is screaming for peace, even when her heart is begging to be held. And she rarely tells anyone. Because the moment she does, people look at her differently. They think she's weak, dramatic, emotional. So she keeps pushing. She keeps giving. She keeps pretending she's fine, even when she's running on empty. Then you enter the picture. And you don't just compliment her strength like everyone else. You don't treat her like a superhero who never gets tired. You look at her with steady, calm eyes and say, "You're strong, and you still deserve rest." And those words, they hit somewhere deep. Because for once, someone isn't asking her for more. You're not applauding her ability to carry everything. You're offering her a place to put it down. You're not saying she's broken. You're saying she's human, You're not trying to fix her. You're giving her space to just be messy, raw, unfiltered, tired, and still worthy of love. You're telling her it's okay to rest your head. It's okay to let go for a while. You don't have to earn peace by being strong all the time. Most men only love the fire, the glow, the confidence, the power. But when that fire fades for a moment, they leave. You're different. You sit beside the fire when it flickers. You don't panic when the light dims. You stay, quietly, present, unmoved. You're the place where she's allowed to take off the armor, not be judged for it, and feel more loved, not less. That kind of presence is rare. That kind of love is healing. Because when a strong woman finally feels safe enough to rest, that's when her heart opens. That's when trust is born. That's when she starts to believe that love doesn't have to mean more pressure. Sometimes it just means finally feeling held. So when you say, you're strong and you still deserve rest, you're not just speaking to her mind, you're speaking to the part of her soul that's been longing to hear that. And once she hears it, she won't forget it. She won't forget you. Because you weren't the man who asked her to keep being strong. You were the one who finally told her, it's safe to stop now. I've got you. And that changes everything. The identity shift. Any guy can talk. Anyone can copy a few lines from the internet. Anyone can memorize tricks to sound smooth, confident, and in control. But talk is cheap, and most of it doesn't land because it's not backed by anything real. A Stoic man is different. He doesn't perform for approval. He doesn't chase attention like it's oxygen. He doesn't try to be impressive because he knows there's nothing to prove. He's not looking for validation. He's not looking to be chosen. He's already chosen himself. He's done the uncomfortable work. He's looked in the mirror, not to admire his appearance, but to confront his pain, his past, his patterns, his fear. He's walked through fire, not for praise, but for peace. And on the other side, he found something most men never touch: stillness. A Stoic man doesn't raise his voice to be heard. He doesn't force himself into a woman's life. He doesn't try to take up space. He becomes the space. Calm, solid, present. He listens more than he speaks. And when he does speak, there's weight in his words. Because they don't come from panic. They come from presence. They come from knowing, not needing. And when a woman meets a man like that, she feels it. She doesn't just hear his voice. She feels it settle in her body. She relaxes. She trusts. Because it's rare to meet a man who is enough without effort, who doesn't try to own her, just sees her. Most men try to be liked. They mold themselves, they bend, they adjust to gain approval, but not him. The Stoic man is steady. He's not interested in being chosen by the crowd. He's busy building his life, his purpose, his peace. He's not afraid of love, but he doesn't chase it. Because when love is real, it doesn't need to be forced. It flows toward strength, toward silence, toward depth. And that's what makes him unforgettable. Not his charm, not his looks, but his energy. So if you're ready to stop performing, if you're done with the noise, the tricks, the need to be impressive, if you're ready to live with grounded power, to lead with stillness, to speak from a place that touches souls, then this path is yours. This isn't for boys pretending to be men. This is for men becoming something deeper, quieter, stronger. This isn't about chasing women. This is about becoming the man who doesn't need to. Because who you are speaks so loudly, you don't have to say much at all. So welcome. Welcome to the work. Welcome to the stillness. Welcome to real strength. This is Stoicism, and this is just the beginning.